Anyone? Let's hope the fire brigade have it hand shortly, shall we? So why am I here, ladies and gentlemen? Was it merely the opportunity that tonight provided me with of acquiring yet another complimentary shower cap and emergency shaving kit? No, I'm here because I was asked. When the powers that be said, would you, the doyen of your industry, like to fire down the M4 motorway and into the Hilton, central London, and address 700 big hitters from the industries of, I think that's what it said. I can wait. From the industries, the vital industries, aeronautical, defence and security, you can imagine my response. Quick as a flash, I said that wouldn't be the same reason we're holding our bonnets up night at the A30 Club, would it? Fortunately, common sense prevailed, and with a little bit of juggling of dates, you were able to move your event to tonight. So here I am, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to come amongst you and play a little game I learned quite a few years ago, once I've worked out the geography of the stage. Here we are. A little management game. Now, who's the manager? One at a time. Everyone freezes when I get close to them, I love that. Who's the manager? Lots of bearded engineers here, we don't want them. Who's the manager? Lots of spectacled professors here, don't want them. Oh, I'm getting deeper into this now, getting a long way from the stage. Help, help, help. Oh, is it a woman? Now you're boasting. Which company did you work for? Oh, ADS, you work. Oh, go nowhere with bloody John, are we? Right. Who's the manager over here? I'll get to you later, John. Who's the manager? Are you the manager, sir? No, a kilt over here. A beard and a kilt. All right, he looks like a manager. Here he is. What's your name, sir?
Alan.
Who do you work for, sir?
Atkins.
Never heard of them. Atkins, I have. Right, now, there you are, working in Atkins with your team, and suddenly, stick with me on this one, everyone, a boa constrictor that's escaped from the local zoo slithers its way in, and they're all going, John, 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 please, what are we going to do? A boa constrictor, it's going to eat us all alive, get rid of it. What do you say to them?
Run.
No, what you want to say, Alan, what you want to say to them is you do it, all right? Everyone in the room after 3, 1, 2, 3.
You do it.
You can do better than that. 1, 2, 3.
You do it.
Right, you're all leisure centre managers. A 20-ton lorry full of repaired gym equipment has arrived in your car park. You expect your employee to unload it. What do you say? A small boy has left a little brown jobby floating on the surface of the swimming pool. Your member of staff thinks the cleaner should get rid of it. What do you say to her? Kelly Brook has been working out in your gym, has had a sudden attack of cramp in the upper thigh and would like someone to rub it better for her. What do you say to your member of staff? Delegation is the key to organisation. But if you want something doing properly, do it yourself. Sorry, Alan, I thought everyone was called John. That's how much you stayed. Right, who have we got in tonight? We've got Ian Godden. So what do you sing for? He's the blooming chairman. Let's go down and have a little look at him, shall we? I don't know, you can't see that photograph, but have you all seen the photograph of Ian Godden where he's got his hand in front of him like that? That photograph there, you can't see it at all, but it's almost as if the invisible secretary has been photoshopped out of the picture. You all know the one. So Ian, where are we? He obtained an MBE from Stanford University, California. Ooh. And his BSc Chemical Engineering from Edinburgh University. And he's a fellow of the Royal Aeronautical Society. Well, right clever dickhead ever there was. We're going over, ladies and gentlemen. Here he is, Rear Admiral Reese G.J. Ward, CBNA, MSc, FIET, Crabs. CRAES. Not at all, sir. I respect you very, very much, sir. But whistle the board, will you? Come on, defence industry, whistle the boss abroad. Right. Now you've got the CV to die for. I tell you, this is something else. Change leader of a transformational change program producing a single coherent defence equipment plan. By the way, I do have a bullshit detector. It's gone off about 10 times in a minute then. But hang on, this I read this, change and defence equipment, 12% fewer people within 2 years. So basically 5 people. But it goes on, hello, shedding 1,000, it's all about shedding posts. Consolidated systems and services, 5,500 people to 2,200 over the next 4 years. Hatchet Man Ward or what? Just incredible. But no, we need chaps like you in the Space Corps. We really do. I think we honestly do. And I noticed also an athlete as well, ladies and gentlemen. What about this representing Great Britain and Scotland in athletics? Oh, cross country. Back to disappointment. Cross country is of course what we did at school. You know, when we couldn't do a proper sport. No, I'm in trouble, I think. Right, Sean or Ron? Where is he? Shawnee, there you are, dear boy. Now, everyone says he looks like me. I'm about a foot taller and I haven't had eaten the pies like him, you know? Come on, Shawnee. Now, listen. What have I got to say to you? Compared to the silver fox and the salty sea dog, your CV is a little bit wanting, I'm afraid. There's no education mentioned here, and the first thing I noticed was NEC Birmingham Caravan and Outdoor Show. I mean, that gentleman over there has got electrical engineer, electronic engineer or something, Cambridge, and something about guided weapon systems, you know? And presumably you haven't even included a course here. I'm thinking advanced seating arrangement theory. University of Polytechnic of Boston Regis or something. Never mind, you're on man, you don't need to do all that. Right, ladies and gentlemen, now we know who's here. Rolls Royce, where are they tonight?
They're not ready.
Quiet. Rolls, oh, hello, one of you. Or are you all here, yeah? Come on, Rolls Royce, where are you? Oh, you, congratulations, by the way, on your on new orders you received recently. I'm offering my congratulations. Come on, ladies and gentlemen. I am, of course, presuming that all these new customers have not ticked the explosion in mid-air option. Still hasn't exploded yet, so they haven't all So ladies and gentlemen, defence, you know, quite close to my heart because, you know, as I mentioned in the introduction, I've done a lot of stuff connected to defence in my Britain's Greatest Achievement program. And my father was Director General of Ordnance Services back in the 80s, career soldier. So defence, you know, every time the French comes to the news, you know, when I, you know, read the paper or hear people dissing it on various radio stations, you know, it's something close to my heart. So, of course, when I read that France and Britain are cooperating in military matters, you start to get a little bit worried, don't you? Britain will do the invading, France will do the surrendering. We have known for years going back now that when it comes to war, the French are very enthusiastic collaborators. There was going to be concerns about the language barrier, but the French, in their inimitable way, came up with a compromise. The British must speak French at all times. Any French in tonight? Of course, oh, I passed him earlier on. That was a little bit dangerous. So, ladies and gentlemen, where are we? Britain, of course, is set to end its combat role in Afghanistan in 2015. Just when our troops should be receiving their first rifles. Don't go along in that vein, Chris. Yeah. I mean, these are just sort of knockabout. I mean, that is the perception, of course, of the public, which is completely wrong, I guess. They've got to have some sort of story. Not so much the boots, Who is a fan of the great Harrier jump jet? Of course, I was going to hopefully feature it in one of the programmes, but that will no longer be the case anymore, certainly not with the RAF or the Royal Navy. I'll have to go to some chap in America who's actually flying one, at air shows and things. But the Harrier, the great icon, was one of Britain's greatest technical achievements. What is our greatest technical achievement now? Getting a meerkat to talk. On those blooming irritating adverts. And of course, Harrier, when you're thinking about Harrier, you're talking about, the whole aircraft industry. And apparently one of Britain's biggest aircraft manufacturers is Airfix. And they make a huge profit only because they sell loads of empty boxes claiming there's a stealth bomber inside. Linked incredibly closely, of course, to aircraft, and the Harrier, of course, is Ark Royal. Likewise, are we a little bit misty-eyed about the scrapping of Ark Royal? I mean, Ark Royal, absolutely, another great icon. Together, of course, they provided a very potent weapon. I hear it quoted that the Ark Royal was the tiger and the Harriers were the teeth. That was the quote I heard. And of course, Ark Royal, she's only 25, and she's being forced into retirement. I thought they only did that to people at the BBC. No, very, very sad, ladies and gentlemen, very sad indeed. Now, Trident, that's the other one. We don't really know what's going to happen to that, but Ed Miliband was talking about it the other day. Well, yes, of course, Trident is one of those things that, you only got to take a look at what the government spend on Trident. That's 20 million. What we're saying in Labour, the new thinking in Labour is actually to say, can't we find anything cheaper on eBay? That's the first time I've tried to do an Ed Miliband voice. Impersonations I don't do that many impersonations anymore, but to try and do Ed Miliband was something that I actually thought, I was driving home and thought, hey, this actually sounds not too bad, so I just kept doing it, so I thought I'd try it out tonight. And it could have been worse, incredible to think that we, in fact, were going back to our manufacturing base. And I know I've spoken to very eminent people tonight about the manufacturing in Britain. Yes, we still do have a very solid manufacturing base, but it's not as visible to the man in the street like me. We used to be the workshop of the world, of course, and now apparently the only thing we make more of than anywhere else in the world is teenage girls pregnant. Not that funny, but true, apparently. Meanwhile, the US have dropped the term war on terror and replaced it with overseas contingency operations, which is a bit like calling the First World War International Disagreement Reconciliation Meeting. Next, of course, they'll be calling a tour of Helmand Province an activity break. Osama bin Laden, rumours persist that he's dead. I'm not too sure about that, otherwise surely Al-Qaeda would have released his videos as a box set. And of course, we're hearing that they've downgraded the terror threat from critical to severe, which means that a terrorist is unlikely to be on your aircraft, but Naomi Campbell might. Topical-ish. Has anyone here actually got a fear of flying? Yeah? Well, my fear of flying came in the early 80s when I was flying to Belfast, and the captain came on and said, good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome aboard this British Airways Boeing 757. Our journey time today to Belfast is around about the 55-minute mark. That's due to a favourable tailwind we've got. Weather over there is much the same as it is here in London, a bit cloudy, but pretty good. Around about the 20,000 feet mark, I'll be handing you over to my co-pilot for the day, Daniel Collins. Now, at the age of 9, little Daniel is probably the youngest person ever to take the lives of 300 passengers in his hands, whilst grappling with nearly 100 tons of metal and aviation fuel. And that's the power of Jim will fix it. And it's quite a week for little Daniel, because the day after tomorrow he goes to the hospital for an operation which has a 60% chance of restoring his sight. I'm sure you'll join with me in wishing him all the best with that one. Cabin crew today are Mandy, Stephanie and Belinda. Very shortly they'll give us a demonstration of how to inflate your life jacket. And for those of you who like a good laugh, keep your eyes on Mandy, she hasn't done it properly once yet. Those of you who've flown before will know that in the unlikely event of an emergency, exit from the aircraft is made via an inflatable slide. I'm afraid this facility will not be available today, as it was my son's birthday over the weekend. And we left it too late to hire a bouncy castle. Whilst boring passengers have been randomly distributed throughout the aircraft, it is the airline's policy to place obese passengers over the wings. Two main reasons for this: one, to maintain stability, and two, should we be forced to come down on a mountainside and have to start eating each other, we know where to look first. Should cabin depressurization occur, you may find yourself with a painful ringing in your ears and a contorted expression on your face as you're sucked out at high speed. 1,000,000 to 1 chance of this, of course, but for those interested first-class male passengers, Stephanie will be able to provide you with the same sensation in a couple of minutes. Yes. Sorry about that, the 4 ladies who are in here tonight. So, ladies and gentlemen, yes. Now, as was explained earlier, I started my career, if you like, in my TV work in Spitting Image many moons ago, where I had the opportunity to impersonate many different people, you see. Yes, starting with him, it's a long time ago now. And of course, one of the people we impersonated back then, we did a lot of sports stuff back in those days, and one of the good things, many good things, I suppose, I have in Britain, apart from ABS, is, and you know, one area we cannot afford any cuts is the Barmy Army. Okay? Just make sure they got the right equipment so they don't come back with sunburn and STDs, okay? But of course, one of my favourite commentators was Richie Bennett, and we had good fun doing it. I don't know whether you remember him, but he sounded something like this. Morning, everyone. What about staying? We awoke this morning to the first crack of the jackdaw's fat. And I must say, the prospects of good cricket out there seem very remote indeed. But fuck me, it's turned out to be one of the best days so far. And one of the hottest days I can recall in Test history, and that pitch was as hard as a dead dingo's donger. Let's go over and hear what's going on there at the moment with Henry Blofeld. And I'm looking now at the lovely Ian Botham as he runs away from me all the time now. He's pounding the turf now. I'm not looking at a man. I'm looking at a gazelle, Ian Gazelle Botham, as he runs away all the time now. It's a lovely day for me now. He's pounding away from me. It's delicious now. Imran Khan squares at the other end. His lovely glistening olive skin now is also talking to me. It's a beautiful day. In comes Botham now. Bowls this one. Imran Khan drives now. The ball is hoisted high into the lovely oval sunshine now. 2 lonely pigeons intermittently nosedive each other. A boy at Tennyson's grammar school is waving hello to you now. It is in fact Bob Willis who gives chase now down along on now. He's a tall man, his hair's bouncing and saying hello. I love to be part of Bob Willis. It's a beautiful day now. Those 2 lonely pigeons are being joined by a whole squadron of pigeons now. A number 9 bus is going down to the oval there. Hello, how are you? You're waving at us now. It's a lovely day when this picks up roast cleaning. No run there. Pakistan's 700% true. Come around Tuesday. commentaries and sport was really a stock in trade for me, and one of the chats we did was Murray Walker. And I met Murray a few times in the motorsport areas, and he's got three voices. He has a voice that's quite low and quite pedestrian, like this when you're talking to him. And then suddenly he starts to talk like that. And that's when you know something exciting could happen, like at the beginning of a race when the lights are going to change from amber and green, and away they go. And there is Alan Frost out in front. There is Ayrton Senna, and there is Nigel Mansell. Goodness me! And here comes Mansell. Mansell's making a move, and I'm going to have an orgasm. And of course, we had the horse racing as well.
No, Corey will stand side now, it's still with the rain now from Red Rum on the inside now, Red Rum on the inside, step on the gas, it's on the far side coming along now, it's still Red Rum now from Winter Rain, and step on the gas, it's over to Michael O'Hare.
And they're going on the inside now, it's still Winter Rain, from step on the gas now, and it's step on the gas now, it's step on the gas now, but it's Winter Rain, and Red Rum making a run for it on the outside now, and it's Winter Rain on the far side, as they come on the far back to back, in front of Peter O'Sullivan.
And they're going on the inside now, and it's still Winter Rain on the far side now, as they come to the last now, they come to the last, still Winter Rain, back to Michael O'Hare.
And they're going on the inside now, and it's Winter Rain now, and it's back to Peter O'Sullivan.
That kind of opens the vocal cords a little bit, Mr. Shaw. Michael Jackson's Doctor. Just leaping about a bit here on these. Michael Jackson's Doctor is due to face trial for Gavin. He's promised that if he gets off, he will be, fortunately for all of us, James Blunt's personal physician. The Beckhams don't understand why they keep having babies. David's been on the pill for years.
Yeah, it's pretty incredible. When I spoke to Victoria, all she says is that she just wants a beautiful, healthy girl. So do I, but I've got Victoria.
Will no longer have to take compulsory retirement at the age of 65.
Which of course is great for me because I'll be able to make my comeback as 007 James Bond in my new movie Goldfinger.
And of course, Eric Daniels. How do we feel in this industry about the banking industry? See, doesn't really tell me anything. Well, I think it does a little bit, but I'll stop replying these kind of evenings. Eric Daniels, yes, he, the boss of Lloyd's, has been criticised because it's been revealed that he is in line for a bonus of a mere £2 billion, which has made him Britain's least popular Daniels. Now that takes some doing.
You may like it or you may not. The My Magic Show was the most hideous magic show on television, you see. Because what happened is my voice went down like this. And it went up like this. And then it reached an irritating note. You shut your eyes, I did the trick and that's magic.
I know you had a proper impression this last year, so I'll try to catch up. But of course, ladies and gentlemen, one thing, definitely not going to do that one. Definitely not going to do that one. Just finding this little wheel. We'll go into it, yeah. I mean, look, while we're talking about bankers' bonuses, what is the one commodity, and of course it affects this whole industry, the one commodity that we all, every day, I'll give you a clue, petrol heads like me, worry about the price of? Oil, yeah, fuel, wine.
He must be new energy.
That's fair enough. So, in those occasional sober moments where you find your car, and you're thinking, let's say it's 1t, it's £1.45 to, or 80 quid or something to fill your tank. I mean, David Cameron has said, look, I'm speaking from the man in the street here. David Cameron has said he feels the motorists' pain about the hikes in the fuel prices. And who can argue? Because anyone who has spent that long at Eton will certainly know what it's like to be shafted hard by someone with a lot of oil. And the job cuts go on. 2,000 jobs lost in Manchester this week. That's what happened when Wayne Rooney gives up prostitutes. Yes. So where are we then, Jill? By the way, if anyone has any questions they want to ask about me, if you want to ask anything about the machines that we do, I do another talk which is sort of utterly machine anorak orientated. If you want to do that, for advertising, I'm not aware of doing it, but it is on my website, and I can bore for the nation about the joys of a Triumph Tiger Cub or my flying to a Spitfire, which was something else. So this is why, in many ways, the whole Britain and defence and our role in supplying the armed forces, ADS's role, fantastic role, is actually quite dear to my heart. If you do have any questions, I will give you an opportunity to ask them. Anyone just straight off? One at a time? Okay, don't worry. Let's move on, ladies and gentlemen, to the spring. Are we all looking forward to the happy event in the spring? Do you know what it is? It is, of course, a royal wedding, ladies and gentlemen. You're not looking forward to it, no. The joyful day when Prince William will marry the lovely Kate Middleton. And of course, what a lovely day. It'll be in the spring, the end of April there. And what an engagement it's been. It all started with William presenting Kate with his mother's lucky ring. Well, these are times of austerity, at least in the second hand. And then, of course, he's going to whisk her off to Paris, stay at the Ritz, and a nice journey down that tunnel of love. I'll upset someone. There's a royalist in the audience. I didn't want to do that joke, but it was forced upon me by the EU. Or the Fourth Reich, I occasionally call it. And while we're talking about David Cameron, apparently he revealed that he did spend the night before Charles and Diana's wedding outside on the Mall. Well, of course, Prince Charles spent the night inside Camilla. I knew that was going to be too near, that was too much. I was worried about the Cameron one. I wasn't going to do that one, but if I had, you'd said, go on. So I went on and did it, and I'm very sorry about that. But it was a gag, and the inside-outside thing, I thought I'd do it, I get many more about that. That's all I can say. And of course, the BBC, ladies and gentlemen, have sustainability. That's a word that's very much on the end of everyone's lips in business these days. Am I right? Everything's got to be sustainable. And the BBC, of course, have got in the act with their comedy My Family, which has become the first comedy to use 100% recycled jokes from old episodes.